All right, here we are, Impact and Influence Radio right here on iHeart. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Blinds of Sacramento, Sacramento's complete solution window covering experts. Give them a call, 916-790-8689, or visit blindsofsacramento.com. Now, today, we have Kendra, Cannoy, and Kenny Rego.
Hello.
Hey, I ran into Kendra. I don't know if you were at that event, but at New Wynn's event at the distillery.
The Alignable
Yes.
Networking.
New Wynn, it's like I bring her up in every episode. She is amazing.
Yes.
That woman is just on another level. I wonder if it was her that sent that. I wonder if it was her that sent the shirt.
She's the type.
She is totally the type. But did you see how she controlled me at that event? Did you catch that?
Oh yeah, she's in charge.
Dude, wild. Because when I walk in, it's like, okay, everything's, focus on Quinn. And she's like, Robert? And I was like, oh, crap. I'm like, I'm in trouble.
Is this the distillery down on 16th in Sacramento?
This was West Sacramento.
I forget the name. It's a Vietnamese distillery.
Yeah, that makes like a tequila Vietnamese, but it's a Vietnamese, and it was like the only one in the country or something of that caliber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and great people. I mean, just amazing people.
I'm actually stepping into her shoes. I'm hosting one next Saturday, the 21st.
Okay, I can't make that. I have something very important that I have to go to. With the Black Chamber. But keep those, if you get them up onto Eventbrite, which is really smart, get them on Eventbrite, because I'm looking at that every day, and all of the good events, the people that I trust, are being transferred over to our website. And then, of course, our people are seeing it and going to those events. And so that's the whole part of the ecosystem. And we're going to get into all that after the show. I'll sit down and I'll show you everything that we've built. But yeah, get those over to me so we can get those up there. Because again, it's all about eyeballs and connections and relationships. It's all really, and that's the other thing is people go to these networking events. They think you can go once. You have to build the relationships. No. It's the relationships of time and time again. And the faces, once the faces have become familiar and the names are familiar and you start to know these people, then that's where the real connection starts to happen. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into what you guys are doing. Joint healing. Explain this all to me.
We help people eliminate joint pain without pills, shots, or surgeries.
Have you listened to any of the other episodes that we've done?
Not fully, no.
Okay. So there's been about 3, 4, 5 different people that have come through that are doing this natural approach to things and to our health, our bodies. And let me tell you, I've just in right now I've got like 3, 4, or 5 people that I can literally connect you with and say, you two need to talk. You two need to talk. You guys need to be working together.
Yeah, that's
already.
Great.
Yes.
Networking.
All right. Yes. So all right, let's keep going.
So yeah, our main categories, I'd say, are diet, lifestyle, and mindset of the approach that we have. I have a background in fitness, so a lot of people think it is movement focused, but it's not. I mean, I want people to move for sure, but it's not a physical therapy type of thing. It's reducing inflammation and therefore letting the body heal itself.
And then you're doing mindset.
Yeah, my experience is through my 20s, and I've run, different marketing companies. So I was more of a success mind coach, how to get through, how to properly think about getting to goals. And so I come in when they are doing the diet, and I'm teaching them mindset on how to actually get through the diet. Because when they start the program, a lot of people are like, wait a minute, I've got to do this, and it can be overwhelming.
Too hard.
Yeah.
People don't like stepping out of their comfort zones.
No.
Is that light bothering you at all?
No.
Can you do something? Can you just take it and turn it just towards the thing? The other, that's fine. There we go.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
Yeah, because it just looks like red light therapy.
Yeah,
on
actually,
you.
it does feel better now that you say it.
Yeah,
like the Death Star.
We just need to turn it off, but I'm already recording, and I'm like, okay, we're just going to leave it. Okay, so the mindset, I think, is really the most important element here with every one of us. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
Mindset is just, it will make or break you.
It's the make or break situation.
And now, where does mindset come into joint relief? Is it the fact that people don't want to go through the necessaries in order to find the relief. So you bring in the heavy hitter to come in and
There's the element of stick-to-itiveness and
Uh-huh.
that kind of thing, but I think on a more important level is shifting people's beliefs and programs about what they think is possible with their body. Because unfortunately, people don't think a lot is possible. They think, oh, I'm 50,
I will
I'm
give
whatever.
you every excuse in the book to keep me from going to the gym. I'm dead serious. And I am all about mindset. I'm all about do it. I've written 37 books on this stuff.
Yeah.
On business and success, and I'm working on one right now. I'm literally sitting down with a gentleman this morning, and I was like, I need to write a book called Patheticism, because people just continually make excuses for everything, and then here I am thinking of every reason that I don't want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then my weight keeps going up.
Well, and discipline is its own thing. I mean, we humans resist discipline, but yet you're disciplined in being an entrepreneur and having
what I'm comfortable
Yes.
doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to do something I'm not comfortable in, like if I had to take cooking classes, my wife says I would be a wonderful cook. I have no interest in it.
Right, which is
Yeah, everybody has a suffering level. So, and that suffering level is going to bring them either into the program or keep them suffering. So once people get to that their suffering level, I can't do this any longer. I just can't suffer any longer. And they've exhausted everything.
Oh,
They're taking
my.
1 million cortisone shots. They've talked to
Got
1
it.
million doctors. They've talked to, and then they stumble across, something like, wait a minute, here's some people that actually have testimonials that are getting people out of joint pain, through a 8-week program, And so when
Wow.
people come in, they're actually kind of in awe of what they have to give up. And, and then just the coaching, the mindset goes in.
So is this for chronic pain? Is this for injuries? Is this for people like myself, like a musician, where my hands are just completely just destroyed after the torment that I give it getting on stage for weeks?
Yeah. And like as a musician, what are you thinking about? As musicians, we get on stage. How much adrenaline are we pumping out into our body?
Dude. Do you get dizzy up on stage?
I've had strokes on stage trying to remember, lyrics to 30 songs, So,
I get dizzy up there because I forget to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is I go to the doctor and the doctor goes, do you realize you have really low blood pressure? I'm like, is that a good thing? They're like, not necessarily. Do you get dizzy? I'm like, yeah. So when I get up there and I'm playing Satriani, which is like the most high intense, you're playing like literally thousands of notes in one song.
Intricate.
Very detailed precision music. And my blood pressure is getting so low that I'm literally dizzy up on stage. It's a wild thing to think that we're putting our body through that much.
Oh, and the amount of adrenaline, and then the adrenaline creates the cortisol, and then the lactic acid sets in.
Oh, that's why I'm fat. So it's the guitar playing that made me fat.
Joint. Yeah, it's not necessarily the movement so much, because you're used to that movement.
Yes.
But it's the lactic acid that's hit your joints after the adrenaline rush of being on stage.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So if you can control your heartbeat and you can control your breathing and you can control the adrenaline, you'll be a lot less sore.
So what I usually do is I'll start a show with. Are you familiar with Satriani's music?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
I've met him a couple of times.
Yeah. So as with us, we've worked with him before.
Gentle soul.
In person. Behind closed doors, completely different guy. He's terrifying behind closed doors. Completely just the most high energy, like he will literally scare the crap out of you. But in meeting him, he's like the nicest guy in the whole world. Like seriously. But Summer Song. I'll start the show with Summer Song because it's easy to start.
Warm up,
as a warm up. It's got a little bit of high energy. It's fun. It's got a lot going on. But then I can really get into about 2.5 minutes. I can really get into some solos. And if I screw it up, it's just blues licks, just really fast, right? And then I'll come out with a slower song, and then I'll go into like Crystal Planet and really go completely crazy. And then I go into another slow song, and then usually I'll like start to close the night out with, I like to close the night out with like 10 words or revelations, something that is moderate, but it's more musical and it has almost like a symphonist type element to it. But again, where I'm going with this is it's the hands, right? You go in, you don't want to go completely crazy in the first 2 or 3 minutes. You want to start working up to it, get warm, and then you come into something which then starts to allow for the dexterity, start, get your brain working, and then you can really start going crazy. But then you offset. So you go crazy soft, crazy soft, crazy soft, and then something warm at the end. And then, you're 10, 12 songs in, but just done it's like an Olympic sport.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Like when people come into the program, they have to warm up to. Okay, yeah, we're telling them, you're not going to do this, 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 and this. But they're like, oh my gosh, they're cutting cold turkey. Things that are their best friends. They're cutting relationships with their best friends, and that's really tough. So, and it's really not about. That's where the mindset part comes in. Is like, okay. How are you feeling about this? How are you feeling about yourself? Did you sneak sugar? Okay, how did you feel when you snuck the sugar? You know what I mean?
Did you go to McDonald's like Quinn?
Exactly, exactly. But it's what you're thinking about when you're doing it. You know what
I'm thinking about when I'm doing it? Free Fry Fridays.
They have that?
Free fries with the McDonald's app on Fridays. And my wife.
First of all, there's an app for McDonald's.
Yes, and
we haven't had McDonald's in probably
decades. They give you free food every day.
Oh boy!
What?
Yeah, and so my wife and I, it's Friday night, and we're like, "What do you want to do? Let's go take the dog for a walk." And she's like, "I want."
How come all the healthy food is free in America?
I don't understand why. No, seriously, I don't understand why there isn't a healthy drive-through. This makes no sense to me.
Well, there was one over by the Galleria. Is it? Amy's.
Okay.
And she makes the frozen enchiladas and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, she's in.
And then there. It was around for a couple of years, and then they closed.
I just don't understand why there isn't a healthy, fast food, because fast food doesn't have to be junk food. That's actually hard to make.
It is. It's called In-N-Out Burger.
That's not healthy, though. That's garbage, too.
Kenny chooses to think that one's healthy.
It's all about mindset.
It's all about what you think.
Exactly.
Mine is Taco Bell because it has sour cream and it has lettuce and it has tomato and it's all
You're
crap.
getting all the food groups.
But it's all crap. But again, why isn't there? You go to a drive-through and they give you a friggin' apple.
Yeah, grass-fed hamburger.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the convenience of the fast food. It's not that we want to eat crap; it's that we're busy people.
Yeah,
and so we want simplicity.
It's true.
That's all it is.
It's true, and that's why people will stay away from health and they'll keep their suffering because they're lazy. They're too lazy to get into a structured program to actually help themselves.
But again, people are busy.
Yeah.
I'm busy and I don't have kids. I can only imagine it. The guy that we had here yesterday, this guy, oh my God, you want to talk about sharp as a tack. Holy crap. This guy was just sharp as a tack. 7 kids.
Whoa.
And I'm thinking to myself, soccer practice, basketball practice, football practice, softball practice. I mean, soccer practice. That's the whole thing. Feeding and school and just all the stuff.
Like you said, people are busy, but they're spending 8 hours a day destroying their health. Why can't they spend 1 hour a day to help their health?
Let's talk about that. All right. So where do you guys come in? How can you help people like myself who are going to make every excuse why not to do this?
Well, like Kenny was getting to it's that point of suffering. I mean, I could beat my head against the wall with, I like to say I have rivers lined with horses, right? They're ready to drink. I'm telling them, here's what it is. But why aren't they drinking? Because the comfort of, I'm going to eat this convenience fast food. I'm going to take this pill instead. Oh, I heard this PRP shot or this stem cell therapy or even a joint replacement. I've heard, a lot of joint replacements go great
every single
day.
Yeah,
and they go great for so many people, and then they don't for other people, So at what point, that's I don't know, that's
It's
kind
the
of a
quick fix.
Mhm.
You know, that's what we're trained in America for the quick fix. And nowadays, even more than ever, we are hell bent on the quick fix. I mean, think about it. The information, how fast we get information.
Well, everybody
nowadays.
wants fast money. They want
Yeah.
fast rich. They
Yeah.
want fast wealth. They think I'm nuts because I'm playing the slow game, the long game. The long game's where you build a legacy.
Yeah.
It's not about how rich you get.
Yeah.
I own a freaking magazine. You know,
Yeah.
that's where people really build real wealth. Now, it might not happen in my lifetime, but whoever
It
ends
could
up
be a
with
legacy, though.
it's a legacy. And that's the difference. And that legacy happens with longevity.
Yep.
And if people don't live long enough to build that legacy, that's where you guys come in, right?
And I think just reaching that point of believing and knowing that a natural approach will help and make the difference and ultimately heal. I think that there's no question that there's programming about you go to the doctor, you do what the doctor says, you take the pill that the doctor prescribes,
Yeah, I
you do
know.
the this and that,
The pharmaceuticals.
and you go through that whole thing.
Mhm.
Well, people will, for various reasons, whether it's because they saw somebody go through that, maybe somebody died in their family, and whatever reason that helps people realize, oh, that might not be that's not the only answer. There's in fact, it's not even a true answer most of the time.
Mhm.
And so when people are open and they see, like I had a lady in my fitness class come up to me and she goes, I know that you're kind of into weird stuff, which is so she's like, I just wanted to tell you that I've been putting castor oil on my joints, on my hands, and they're actually getting so much better.
What's castor oil?
Castor is
It's just an herbal plant that it's extracted from
See,
an herbal.
I'm a car guy,
Yeah.
so when you say that, all I think is castor
Yeah,
oil.
like-
all right?
yeah,
Right.
I'm thinking of
GTX, castor GTX,
I'm
yeah.
thinking of John Force. I'm thinking of drag racing.
It sinks in. It sinks into the skin. You know what I mean? And it just kind of
Does it help?
it breaks things up, so
Yeah.
it can even dissolve like bone spurs.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
So is this something I should be doing before and after on stage?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it before, but I would do it definitely. After.
I wonder what Steve.
But there's a
Vai
lot of
is
things.
doing.
If I'd have to analyze your daily life before you get on stage, like, are you drinking beer on stage?
I don't drink alcohol at all.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't
That's-
drink,
That's a big.
and
help.
I don't drink a lot of soda.
Mhm.
And you say, oh, well, you eat fast food? Yeah, a couple days a week. But we cook most of the food that we cook and everything that we get is Trader Joe's, with the exception of the frozen pizzas from Safeway, which they have the best frozen pizzas, by the way. But everything else is Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's not like we eat like total crap, but
Yeah.
Russian culture, we put garlic in everything, man. You
Garlic's
gotta have
great.
garlic.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
garlic's good.
And salads, eat 2 salads a day. And,
Yeah.
you know.
So if you were to come into our program and you're already pretty much eating healthy, we would analyze.
I don't eat like a rabbit. Let's just
Yeah.
say that.
We would analyze your diet and be
Mhm.
like, okay, well, give us your food journal,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mhm.
And then you'd list your food journal, and then we would check mark things that you need to eliminate out of that food journal, and then from there, once again, like I said, okay, you people come in, they've got the perfect diet. But there's a few things. You're a musician. You're on stage. Adrenaline, cortisol, lactic acid, joint pain. Right?
Yeah.
Same thing with people. People don't even realize that they're watching sports on TV.
Yeah.
Every time your heart rate
Oh,
goes
yeah,
up,
Yeah.
that's adrenaline, that's cortisol,
Yeah.
that's lactic acid in your joints.
You know
and
what's
muscles.
actually funny about that is sports doesn't do that to me. You know what does that to me?
the news.
Oh, the news.
The news.
I
does it
am
to
a
everybody.
news junkie. I am a news
Mm.
junkie. But do you remember that show American Greed on CNBC?
No.
Okay, well,
American
just-
Greed. I remember seeing.
it's basically it's like a docu-series. They did it's like 60 minutes,
Mhm.
but they talk about, the people who committed fraud and all these things,
Yes, I remember that.
And you learn a lot about psychology and people. You read through a lot of bullshit when you start to watch those shows because, again, what do I do for a living? I talk to business people all day
Yeah.
long. So I need to know, there's buzzwords that they're putting in there, and okay, so read through their crap or say, I don't know if I would do that. This guy did. But the point is that when I watch those types of shows, my God, that is like that's adrenaline rush for me. I get fired up, man. I get fired up. The movie The Big Short. You ever seen the movie The Big Short?
Totally.
I must have seen that movie at least 100 times. But let me tell you, when I watch that movie, I'm ready to punch through walls. It gets me. It gets me so going, and I just grind. I grind for like maybe 2 weeks after watching that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a horror fan for all my life.
Oh, really?
But I mean, think about it. You're spending 2 hours watching a horror movie, and 90% of the time your heart rate's elevated.
Yeah.
The next morning I wake up, I'm like, why am I so sore? I didn't do anything.
Interesting.
So it's things like that we analyze your daily, your daily life. And then how you're pronouncing your words to people, what you're talking about, how you're thinking, the frequency that you're putting out there is super important.
Very, very. What's interesting about that is I have always been much more comfortable as an introvert. Always have. And I've hated going to networking events. I don't want to talk to people. I don't trust people, right? You watch the news, you learn to not trust people. And for maybe about the last 6 months, I've been going to all these networking events. I'm going to like several a week, like literally. I mean, I've one tonight, I had one last night, one the night before, one the night before. And the point is that I'm finding myself having more fun running my business now than I have ever had in all these decades of doing this stuff. Just meeting random people, and they start to turn into friends and then turn into connections. And it's like, I've never been a social butterfly, like ever. My wife would say otherwise because I talked to the guy at the supermarket or whatever. But the point is that it's just a completely different energy now. And it's given me a completely different perspective of small businesses, where I used to look at a small business and go, man, another tire kicker. But, now I see something different in people. But the energy, I think, is the most important part. And we were talking before we got started, like, who are the people that you don't want? The bad energy. Yeah. We don't want the bad energy.
Well, it's interesting because I'm having the opposite experience. I'm an extrovert, and I have been a networking fool most of my career. BNI, especially weekly, you get all this stuff.
BNI's never worked. I didn't like it. And LaTip, I didn't like.
I was part of LaTip back in the day.
Oh, were you?
Keep going.
And so I did BNI for like 5 years. Anyway, with the pandemic and the shutdown, right? And I feel like I'm just now being like, okay, I want to get back, with people. But the event that I met you was so overstimulating for me. And I don't normally,
That event was a problem because nobody expected that many people to show up.
Yeah.
Nobody expected that many people to show up. But let me tell you, I met some amazing people at that event. We've already signed like 3 or 4 people up from that one event that are working with us in one way or another.
That's great.
And we got like 10 people on the calendar to come and record from that event. New Win is on a whole different level. And so like BizLink Alliance, I don't know if you've seen this other new networking event.
No.
They're bringing 300 people to their freaking events. I'm like, what are they doing? Are they drugging everybody? They're just good connections. Yeah. I've never seen networking at this level before. I've never seen it. And so again, we're going to these things.
And what's it called?
That one's called BizLink.
BizLink.
I'll have to check that out.
And so if you go to our website and go up to upcoming events, and I'll show you one after. All the events that we're attending, we put up there. So essentially, we've vetted all of them in a sense, for the most part. I mean, some of them we haven't been to, but if it looks interesting enough, we'll go and try it out. But for the most part, you're going to get some good connections. And if I'm there, what am I going to do? I'm going to introduce you to all these different people, and that really warms everything up.
Yeah.
Crystal Dunn, she just came on board. She's all about growing your food. She's like, quit buying your food at the supermarket, grow your own food.
Fantastic.
And again, these are the people that I want to connect you with. And then the lady that was here was at 2 days ago. She was here. She has a product that regenerates your cells from the inside. And again, I don't know anything about this stuff. I'm not a scientist, but when she's talking to me about what it does, I'm so intrigued because I'm just meeting all these amazing people with these amazing ideas and amazing products. And it didn't used to be like this. I've been at this a long time. I've been doing radio shows for 12 years. That's a lot of friggin' people.
Yeah.
And let me tell you that the people that I'm running into now, there's something happening in Sacramento. And it's almost like all the crappy ones got flushed out. And there's just like this new foray of just wonderful entrepreneurs. Either that or we're in a better position and we're just attracting better people. I don't know. But
Maybe your
really,
frequency's changing.
Maybe I'm just not as negative as I used to be. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's really been amazing the last couple of years, just meeting all these people and like yourselves and to get the energy.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. But yes, go to these events because there's so many people I can introduce you to, and it just makes it so much easier.
Awesome. Yeah. And we're actually currently working on a project where we're doing a sample program for chiropractors, physical therapists. I have a couple gym owners, for referral. And it's basically like, hey, chiropractors are, and they're great at the hands-on stuff. And they agree.
But they deal with pain every day.
Yeah. And they agree that their patients shouldn't be having sugar and alcohol, and they can see and hear about the stress that they're experiencing in their life, but they don't have the time and sometimes, the know-how of how to help them shift that. And so it's like, we're not trying to replace what we're doing. We're just trying to complement so that, these clients and patients can get out of pain and get on to the rest of their life rather than, going for physical therapy nonstop for decades,
Where did all of this come from? Was this just something that you were a part of your entire life? And then just one day you were like, okay, I'm going to turn this into my career. And then where did the two of you guys come together?
So I have been in health and fitness my whole career, and I had a car accident that left me with a hip injury.
It always stems from something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes. Like, we have our experience of healing, and then we figure it out, and then we want to share.
Yeah.
So that's what led me to the anti-inflammatory diet. And then that was 16 years ago that helped me heal. And then the lifestyle stuff came in, and then Kenny and I have been together almost 5 years now. Yeah. And when we were talking and getting to know each other and getting to know our philosophies and the way we see the world, I really took it from the bumper sticker of thoughts create your reality to the actual thoughts create your reality in every single aspect of your life that you're experiencing, physically, financially, in your relationships.
It's funny. You're literally saying something that I say every single day. And it's, you'll only get out of life what you ask for.
Yeah.
That's it. You just have to ask for it.
Or command it.
But yeah. But you don't go up and say, you come on my show. You go, would you like to come on my show?
Yeah, business-wise, you might not want to command.
Right.
But, health, wealth, relationship, when we're thinking about things, we're literally putting out a frequency. And we can either have the frequency of a beggar or we can have the frequency of a commander, one or the other. When you ask, you're begging. When you command, you're a commander. A commander asks once, and then it happens.
When I command dinner at home, it doesn't work, man.
Yeah, you don't want to command to somebody. You want to command to yourself that what you do. I could just see that. Next time we have our radio show, we'll have two black eyes.
No, what's funny about that is I don't know how spiritual, religious. My wife and I are not religious at all, but we're very spiritual people, and for us, it is God, right? So other people, it's their God, whatever that is. And so for me, I think really, I'll talk about the universe, right? The universe is making this happen, or God's making this happen, whatever that is. But one of the things that we always said from the beginning was this submission to each other, right? So I am essentially a servant to my wife. My wife's a servant to me. Some people would look at that and way overanalyze that and make it a big, huge deal. But the point is I could be in the middle of something and I'm busy, and my wife say, hey, can you? Absolutely. And the moment that we give each other everything that we've got, then we're in harmony and we don't really have any problems. We never really did. And we're open and honest with each other. And so that's just, I don't know, a little nugget for somebody to turn that into a meme.
Yeah.
It's almost Valentine's Day.
It
It's
is
good
almost
timing.
Valentine's
Yes.
Day.
Exactly.
That's
Yes.
perfect.
Exactly. All right, so let's dig into.
Well, wait. I want Kenny to share a little bit about his. How did you get into this?
Yes.
Well,
I commanded you.
I command you to tell me. For me, like I said, I was an entrepreneur. I was running import-export companies. I started in New York City, importing sharper image goods from China. And then I would have distribution locations around the United States.
Were you always here in the Sacramento region?
I've been in Sacramento since '97. I did have my location here. I opened my last location.
We've run into each other before.
It's a possibility.
No, we have.
Did you work for him when you were young?
No. It was some sort of event. It happened at this happened at a Chase Bank probably 15, 18 years ago at a Chase Bank in Citrus Heights. Even the name is ringing a bell.
I closed my business down around '98.
But you were talking about it.
Yeah,
You were there and you were talking about what you do, and it's all ringing bells now. And the name and the face, it's all starting to come to me like I've met this guy. And it just happened just now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just, I would go, I had 6 locations, and I would fly to the locations, and I would give the motivational speaking, morning meetings, how to get these guys out, the distributors out and selling my products, because nobody wants to do what what they were doing. So I had to, formulate motivational speeches. And then, from there, I kind of started working with a group of people that did more plant medicine, and then having to work with, business people, couples, people that were in trauma, people that, and then I kind of moved that into working with, just anybody just getting their mindset straight. And so when I met Kendra, I was listening to how she was teaching the anti-inflammatory diet, and I was like, hey, we're a pretty good match for, the diet and the mindset together, and can really, really start helping people.
Yeah, it's that yin yang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Matt, I was always like the super intense, high energy, angry, aggressive, and he was like the happy-go-lucky, goes to Disneyland every month and just living his life and the whole thing. And what's so funny about that is he's calmed me so down. Like I'm a complete 180, and now he's the super aggressive, super busy. Like I sent him a text message, hey, can we? No. Okay. It's so funny.
And I think I remember what you're talking about, that Citrus Heights.
It was the Citrus Heights Chase Bank.
I was with Greg, the old owner. See, once I closed my businesses down, I went to work for a gentleman and doing grout. Just grout specialist.
I don't remember I think it was just a networking event,
Yes.
but that was where I met Coda King, if you know who Coda King is.
And you probably met a guy named Rego.
That
Rego
sounds
España.
And there was a guy there. I remember there was a guy there that was talking about his book. He had just put a book out about his life. He was an old military guy, and he had written a book about his life. And everyone was just sharing a little bit about their life. I don't even remember what the purpose of this event was, but it was at Chase Bank. I think it was one of their ways of trying to get people to open accounts.
I remember that, though. I remember because Greg had brought me to that.
It's ringing a bell. Yeah. But it's been 15,
I didn't have anything to tell anybody
years.
except for that.
It's been a long time. Yeah. What was I doing then? I was doing the motorcycle shops. I mean, I was still doing this crap, but I had my focus was the motorcycle shops. I ran the motorcycle business 18 years.
Do you know anything about Norton motorcycles?
A little bit.
Do you want to buy some Norton motorcycle parts?
eBay. eBay.
Yeah.
Is there anybody out there that wants to run that for me?
How many parts you got?
My uncle passed away 3 years ago with a collection of thousands of parts, and we've gotten half of them up from the Baja where he.
So the way I would approach that is to go through an auction house.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
There you go.
Go through an auction house. They'll take the entire lot and they'll number the lot, and then they'll handle it, and they'll take minus fees a percentage, and they'll handle everything.
That's a great idea.
I just want to get it moved on to people that want it.
When Sinatra Jr. died, I I wanted to buy one of his watches, and I just waited and waited, and I missed out. But that's what it was. It was an auction lot, and it just everything went on eBay, and I'm still kicking myself for missing out on that. I think I wanted like $300 for it, but I was just like, do I want it? I mean, how many watches do you need? But now I'm thinking about it. I was like, it's freaking Sinatra Jr.'s watch. I mean, that would have been bitching.
Yeah.
People are like, that's a cool watch. Yeah, I got it from Sinatra Jr. And you'd be like, that's a conversation starter.
Yeah.
But thinking about it now, I mean, yeah, oh well. But no, that's the way I would do it. Yeah.
Good
tip. Yeah, because Norton parts are very sought after.
Right.
Very sought after. And those, it's not like it's a one size fits all. Like a Harley Davidson, you can take a part off of this and put it onto that. But Norton, a completely different animal.
The Norton bolts only fit Nortons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned passion before we started, but and it's like that was my uncle's passion, and he died, and I want to honor my uncle and have them moved along to people that care about them, but it turns out it is not our passion. And so this whole project of the idea of putting them on eBay ourselves, we're like, wow, this is really
my
not
dad's
our...
a hi-fi collector, and so he's got like hundreds and hundreds of pieces of hi-fi, just insane stuff. And he was such not a good father that I don't even want to step foot in the house. Like if they call me and say, hey, dad died and you need to handle everything, I highly doubt that's ever going to happen. But if it did, I already told Matt, I was like, you handle it. You go in there. You don't have any connection to that. I don't want to look at the house that I got the crap beat out of me in. I don't want to see any of that stuff. So in a situation like yours, again, you just call an auction house and you're like, here, you handle it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But those parts go for a lot more money than you think.
I know.
A lot more money. My dad, he was telling me a story years and years and years ago about he had a turntable that had a dust cover, and when Grandpa passed away, he had inherited a lot of Grandpa's hi-fi stuff. So he had two of the identical dust covers. So he takes the first one and he puts it up for like $60 because I mean it's a dust cover. What is and so it sells in like 3 minutes. And he's like, well, screw this. I'm going to start the next one at a penny and see where it goes. It sold for like $1,100.
Jeez.
And he was like, can I cancel that other order and put it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you just never know.
You don't.
You just never know. So, taking some of those parts are probably worth more than the bikes are, honestly. Exhaust and seats and handlebars and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, dude, all day long. Yeah.
It's like we got warehouses of them.
Yeah, seriously. No, that's awesome. They made a whole show out of that, the American Pickers. The whole show was about that type of situation.
All right.
That's what we do. We rent a storage unit and call all those guys up.
Right.
No,
say, hey,
they're not going to. They're not going to. Yeah, the storage guys. Those aren't trained eyes. What you want is the collector market. And those Nortons are all collector bikes. Those are not bikes. Keanu Reeves drives a Norton. Yeah. That tells you everything.
I've been trying. I've been trying to get a hold of him.
Yeah, you're not.
I know.
I can get you his agent's info easily. I can send you that today. Get his agent's information. But he owns his own motorcycle company. He owns Arch Motorcycles. So I mean, if there's some vintage Norton stuff in there, great. Who you actually might have more luck with is Jay Leno.
Right.
We've worked with Jay multiple times over the years.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the other person I've wanted to.
Yeah, Jay's a lot easier to get a hold of because he's got hundreds of bikes. Literally. He has warehouses literally full of bikes. And so that would actually probably be a better approach. And again, I can get you Jay's agent's information too.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'll send you those today.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy stuff. That's easy stuff. Being in the entertainment business, you can get a hold of anybody.
I know.
Yeah,
it's good to drop these topics.
Well, that's how we. Know. Well, that's how we get the people for the movies. Is we have access to all that stuff. All right, let's get back to So somebody like me, I say, okay, Kendra, I want you to fix me. Where do we start?
We, if you enroll in the Accelerated Regeneration Program, it's an 8-week program, and you start with Kenny.
Okay.
Because
he gets your head right.
He gets your head right about entering the program.
Okay.
And putting your blinders on and not listening to all the noise that's everywhere about everything.
Yep.
And I tell you what not to eat and what to eat. And we talk about, are you indoors all day? Can you get outside more? All of these lifestyle type things.
Yep.
And then once those are underway, which depending on the person's ability and where they are, that can happen quickly or in a few weeks. And then Kenny really takes it from there. So tell them what you do from there.
Yeah, I just start retraining their mind, helping them understand what their body is actually doing and how their mind is creating, thought patterns, electro, frequency chemicals in their body are locking them into either pain or even anything else. It doesn't matter. A lot of our people that come to us with pain end up mad at their husbands and end up back in relationships with their husband, or fix their relationships with their children, they end up getting more than just out of joint pain. They end up getting a whole life restructure.
Well, I was talking to my mom recently, and she was saying that the reason why old people are always so angry all the time is because they're in pain all the time. And I was like, oh, that's what I get to look forward to. And so, and they're all dependent. They're all dependent on like all these medications, and medications have side effects, and the side effects cause new issues, and those new issues require new medications. So essentially what you guys are doing is you're trying to fix from the inside out.
Yes.
Basically. Cool.
First, we have to take your mind out of the
gutter.
We can't do anything unless your body and your mind is out of survival mode. And so that's where the mindset comes in, getting you out of survival mode, getting you into relaxation process to where you can actually start to heal.
Where do you intend on taking this company? Where do you want to go with this thing?
Well, we have a program called Beyond Regeneration for our graduates, for people that complete the accelerated regeneration. And that's really Kenny's baby, in that he gets to then help people move even further into creating what they want in this life. And I think that's the most powerful. It's like, okay, yeah, getting out of joint pain. It's like, that's really important if you're in an 8 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, or you're hobbling around, or you're living on Advil, or that's all you can think about when you're in excruciating pain. But then when that pain goes away, then what?
You don't have pain. What do you want to do now? Oh, I want better finances. I want better relationships.
I'm seeing like tremendous opportunities here for you guys. I'm sitting here, my mind is like going all over the place. And what I see is a television show. That's what I see. I'm seeing a TV show here, especially with the Kenny and Kendra.com. I'm seeing a television show, Kenny and Kendra, and essentially it's somebody comes into you guys, and they, the camera's on them, and they're talking about what they're going through in life, and then it's little nuts and bolts. So we'll sit down with you, and you'll do your little bit, and then we'll sit down with them, and you'll do your little bit, and then you go back to the camera on them as they're going through this. And then while they're going through the process, and maybe there's probably 2 or 3 different candidates throughout this episode, and then we're back to you, and then back to this person over here. So you're talking about Sarah, and Sarah's experiencing blah, 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 and this is what the challenges she's facing. And then now the camera's on Sarah, and she's talking about what she's going through. And then Kenny's talking about the psychological elements on what she struggled with. And then maybe the camera's a little bit on that. And then you get to the end of the episode, and they've completed the course. And then at the very end of all 3 or 2 or 3 people, they've completed the course. And then we go back, say 6 months or 6 weeks, and see what's changed. And then we have a recap of where they started, and then where they've gone. And that's what my mind is seeing. And so I'm looking at this like, you guys should really be sharing this on a larger scale.
It could be a reality TV show where
and you don't have to shop networks anymore. You got YouTube and your website and all these other things you can do with that. But that could be, even if you did like 2 or 3 episodes, which wouldn't cost like as much as you really think, but 2 or 3 episodes, that kind of stuff, when you're talking about bringing people into the program, and you say, here, I want you to watch this. It's 6 minutes. And it's just a 6-minute web episode essentially, and it's it's the whole process through the eyes of one or two people. And that's what I'm seeing. And I really, because what I see transformation. I see people actually, it's not a health thing. It's not a joint thing. It's a life thing. You're changing lives. That's a completely different animal.
And after they've gone through the 8 weeks, they have a toolbox to bring with them for the rest of their lives. It's not like, you know, they're just getting out of this one shoulder pain. Now something else happens. Say, like, you know, they get the sentence from the doctor, you know, of I've got this. Now they have the actual tools to work with it.
Yeah,
you know, no matter what it is.
Well, their shoulder hurt because they were using a Les Paul for the last 20 years.
Oh gosh, yeah.
A 9-pound guitar.
I know. I know. What did I put on the other day? Oh, I put on one of my old 60s Strats, and I was like, I'm so glad I got my Telecaster chambered, you know, because it's so much lighter. Because when you're singing and you're dancing around
I went to Paul Reed Smith's.
Yeah. And
they're wonderful.
I'm sore the next day. My back is leaning over the mic singing.
What kind of music?
It's like reggae Southern rock.
Oh my God, dude. We just had a band come through. Do you remember the band Sublime?
Yeah.
You remember Sublime? There's a Sublime tribute band here in town, and they sound identical to Sublime. They are so good. We have them in the magazine, actually. They're right. Please hold. Right here. Garden Groove. Oh my God.
Oh, nice.
They are so good.
Oh, you know, I've seen that. I've seen these guys in some advertisements through my social media.
Yes, Instagram. Yeah, so they came across my feed.
I probably know somebody in there.
Dude, they are so good. So good.
Nice.
Yeah, but they're playing they're getting big shows. They're not playing like little clubs and stuff. They're playing like big shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You know, those tribute bands, they make the money and they get the bookings. You know, we do covers, but I write all the music. You know, and most of the music I write is bumped into reggae and Southern rock, into more a mindset. Like, hey, your thoughts are creating your reality. Hey, you know, so it's more of a metaphysical kind of stuff.
We're called the Delta Mystics.
And what do you do?
I'm a backup singer.
Oh.
It's my first time.
You enjoy it?
Yeah.
You any good?
I've gotten a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when Frank started with us, you met Frank, the older gentleman that's my little sidekick.
Yes.
So Frank started as just a guest on one of my radio shows like 10, 11, 12 years ago. And I can't get rid of the guy. He just hangs around. He's amazing. He's so loyal. He's such a great guy. But when we started him in the first movie, he was horrible. He had never been behind a camera like that. And, you know, you had to give him lines. Oh, it was so bad. You watch like the opening of the first movie. We cut like 90% we only kept the good stuff, and it's still not good. But you watch the latest film, part 5, which we don't have the poster up yet. It'll go right there. But we did part 5. Holy smokes, dude. He's like, he is 1,000% different.
He's now going to be the lead character.
Well, he is. Oh. He's been for five movies. He's been the lead now.
So when you go to his first one and you go to his last one, it's just day and night.
When you go to the first one and go to the second one, it's day and night. Yeah, but it gets better and better and better. Yeah, it's so funny. But no, like I was sitting there trying to direct these guys, and I was like, no, I want you mad. I want you to hit the counter, and I want you to scream, you know, and he'd be like, dang. I'm like, no. No. Right. Anger. Channel it. Find something that pisses you off. Do it. You know. So, you know, one of Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini, things that he did to get really pissed off is he would walk around with a rock in his shoe all day. Oh. To really get him in the
irritated.
Yeah. So I started putting rocks in his shoes and making him walk around with rocks in his shoes. I think he was more irritated with me than he was the scene, but whatever. All right. KennyandKendra.com. Anything that you want to add before we get out of here?
No, I mean, if you are listening and if you know somebody or you yourself can use, a good shift in life, a good shift in the human body, a good shift in the human mind, you can look us up at KennyandKendra.com, and, you can schedule a discovery call with us, and we can get on face-to-face for a second and just see and evaluate, what's going on with you.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Yeah, I'd say that Kenny is the secret sauce, and that's not to downplay myself. I have plenty of confidence about my abilities. Singing is increasing but there's plenty of you could chat GPT the anti-inflammatory diet.
Yeah.
And you can find out all the how-to. You could list 100 things that you should do for your health and your wellness. But shifting the thoughts and when I say programs, it's like people are just programmed to think, oh, if I get older, this is going to be what it's going to be like. And that is a program. That's a thought.
It's deeper than that.
Yeah.
You're down on your hands and knees and you're saying, okay, I'm doing the exercises. ChatGPT told me I should do the exercises. Do I lift? Where do I go? Are you going to grab your phone and text ChatGPT again and try to figure? No, you look up at you and you go, what am I supposed to be doing right here? Oh, this is where you, and you have that person there, human there. We got to remember the humans, we're humans, we're not robots. We have that human there that is there to guide us and to help us. And then you're saying, I don't know if I can do this. And Kenny's sitting there going, well, no, remember we talked about blah, 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 blah. Yes, you can do this. This is how you do this. And it's that human element. The robot's only going to get you so far.
Right. And sugar causes inflammation. Alcohol causes inflammation.
French fries for McDonald's cause inflammation.
We know that. And trauma causes inflammation.
Man.
Stress causes inflammation. Poor relationships. So that's where it's like, you could chat GPT that too.
Playing guitar causes inflammation.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy is you're talking about stress, and you're talking about, and I want to close with this. You're talking about stress, and you're talking about bad relationships. That bad relationship could be the relationship you have with your car, the relationship you have with your family, the relationship you have with your spouse, the relationship you have with your job,
sports team,
whatever it is.
But more importantly, the relationship you have with yourself.
Yes, that's also true too. Because when you're stressed, what do? You binge television, you binge sports, you binge alcohol or drugs or partners or whatever, sugar, food, crap, wine, whatever. And you're putting more negative. You're solving a negative with a negative. And when you do that, you're only going to continue to flush yourself down the toilet in a sense. And that's where you find people come in and you say, look, it doesn't have to be that way.
No.
We can help you this and we can help you that. And you guys aren't perfect. You have your own problems. But the point is that they might be able to help you with whatever they're working with, and you're going to help them with what they're working with. Yeah. And that's that whole networking connection thing.
It's just the management of the emotions that really it all comes down to. When you can manage the emotions and your heart rate and everything.
Matt taught me that.
Yeah. And that's what it really is.
Matt would he pulled me aside one day and he goes, dude, you're going to die.
That's heavy.
You're going to die, dude. He goes, you got to chill. You're like, you don't look well. You're not healthy. You eat like crap. You're stressed out. You were just doing too much, dude. And what did I have? I had all the watches I could ever want, every guitar I could ever want.
I used to collect watches.
Porsches, and I had all the cars and grand piano in the living room, and bills were like over $20,000 a month.
Oof.
And then my wife and I, we became minimalists. We
That's
sold
so
the
good.
TV. We go into one car. I wear a $90 watch.
Isn't it amazing the stress having to keep
Holy
all that stuff?
crap. No, I talked the show I said yesterday. Actually, the post that I put on Instagram, was it today?
Yeah.
Are you following me on Instagram?
Do you guys remember Labyrinth,
yeah.
the movie Labyrinth?
Labyrinth?
No.
Labyrinth? Yeah.
No.
The lady that just kept collecting stuff on her back. And then sooner or later, she just got weighed.
Let's see. What was the... How much money you have and all the crap that you have, all your belongings. They say the one with the most toys wins. No, the one with the most toys has the most problems. So
There you go.
The ones with the most peace wins.
Man, yes, it's about freedom.
Yep.
What do you do when you get up in the morning?
What kind of mental suffering are you getting?
Can you
from
get up in the
matter?
morning and take a 2-hour bath? Whew. Most people can't do that. And so that's what it comes down to. KennyandKendra.com. Hey, thank you guys so much.
Oh, no, thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you guys for listening. If you'd like to learn more, go to their website. And we'll see you next time. What did you just do?
Sorry.
Did you try to take a selfie and bump the mic?
Yes.
I wish I saw that. Can you do it again? What did you do? What did you do?
I was going to pan to Kenny.
Oh.
My depth perception was off.
Perception's a little off.
These
we got a
mics-
fix for that, honey.
these
we got a
mics-
fix for that.
These are new mics, and I don't know why he had to buy the biggest cannons I've ever seen. I mean, these things should be like stage lights. These things are ridiculous.
Yeah.
We had these great Rode mics in here that were small, and they were wonderful. They were perfect. These things
Roads are great.
These things
These are
are-
good. I have these.
Oh, these are-
and I love them.
These are state of the art. This is high end stuff.
Yeah.
But they remind me of the old Sennheiser 421s.
Oh,
Remember the
gosh, yes.
Sennheisers?
I
That's
have
what they
one
were.
of those. I
They're
still have one of
massive.
those.
They're massive.
They weigh like 35 pounds.
Yeah, they're
I'm like, geez.
massive. Yeah, that's what I started on was 421 Mark IIs. All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you.